Have you ever been divorced?
Yes.
Okay. It happens. It's part of life.
Sometimes, listen, it does. It happens. It's part of life. Sometimes, truly, people, men or women, this is not like a gender thing. People pretend to be someone that they're not. And you think that you're marrying someone that you're not. And then sometimes you have kids with that person and you think that you're having kids with someone you're not. And then they turn out to be crazy. So, things happen.
Yeah. And also, you can change a lot like during your 20s, or if something happens to you.
That's true too.
You have crazy loss or you have no coping mechanism. I don't know. Not that these are excuses, but it's just there are many ways you can not really know somebody.
Sounds like you got remarried to a based man though, Sarah.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh my God. So I did it. I was like, listen, I don't speak to my biological father. And I feel like I made the mistake of oh my God, I married my biological father, which legitimately a lot of women are like, you grow up, you see the male as your role model or whatever. And I was like, I did it wrong the first time. And then the second time I was like, hell yeah, I got it right. I got it right the second time. Good. But the first time.
Do you have any tips?
Love a good redemption story.
Yeah.
Brittler's trying to get married over here.
Yeah, no. So honestly, my biggest tip would just be make sure that they're not mentally ill.
That helps.
How?
That typically helps.
Yeah. So be with them longer than a year. Which was my thing, was we were together for less than a year, 9 months. And then we got engaged and then we got married in 8 months, I think. So I thought that I was like, this guy is legit. He's solid because he showed me who he was. And then all of a sudden I was like, who is this person that I just married? Because I didn't know that he was capable of all of these things, including having sex with other women. So point being, you just have to make sure that you know this person for longer than, a fling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Take it from me.
That's fair.
Take it from me.
You also don't need to don't go. I mean, I also, probably could have been engaged a few years earlier also. You don't have to date them 7 years. You don't need 7 years.
Well, that's fair.
There's a balance. No, there's some people who do wait the 10 years and everyone's like, are they ever going to get married? And then they break up and it's like, holy shit, you wasted 10 years of your life. But then, there is let's get married in Vegas. After
that's what my sister did.
Each other.
Yeah, wait. So Chrissie, should we be talking about but once you hit a certain amount of time, you definitely should wife up.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's and I'm trying to think there's an age, an age number of years dating matrix. So I probably should make a chart, because the older you get, I think the quicker you figure it out. And also, it also factors in if you want to have kids, because if you don't want to have kids, then there's kind of no rush to getting married unless you want to be a dependent, So yeah, I think once you're once a woman is older than 30, you really should be able to figure out what you want in a dude. I think you get your 20s to dick around. You can do that. But I think once you hit 30, you really need to this is what moms are not. I mean, my mom wasn't telling me this. Figure out if you want to have kids sooner rather than later. And then if you know you really want kids, then kind of every other decision kind of rolls out in front of you. It's all right, you got to find somebody to get married to that you want to have kids with. And then all of your decisions are based on that. And it's
also number of kids.
Yeah. Or if you never want them, then you kind of have all the time in the world.
It says
Sarah
Lauren.
got divorced, then how can she say she believes till death do us part? I'm sure she does believe that, but I'm not sure you married the person that I'm not sure you were saying till death do us part to the person you thought you were saying it to. Also, I don't know who ended the relationship, right? If someone else ended the relationship, then one person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren, do you want to? I can answer this if you need to go.
Yeah, I do need to go. So I'll leave that to Sara since I don't know her story. I can't answer that for her.
All right, Lauren,
Yeah,
where can the good people find you?
You can find me on the Twitters at Lauren_Southern. You can find me if you look up my name on the YouTubes. Always a pleasure. Love you. Bimbo power.
Love you, Lauren. Thank you.
Okay. See y'all.
Love it. I love Lauren. She's great.
So can I
please?
Can I just okay. So there are like several biblical reasons for divorce. Mine was one of them. Till death do us part, for better or for worse. Yes, that is absolutely the vows that I gave and I intended on living out. Unfortunately, I was married to a person who did not care to live those vows out, and he did what he did, and there was infidelity, and I have been very much I have talked to multiple pastors, what have you, but like the reason for my dismissal of the marriage, the divorce, is very much biblical. So you guys don't need to worry about that because I got it covered. It happened. It wasn't me. And it was biblical, and you don't need to worry about it. So that's all I have to say.
And also, right, you just don't know. You really can't judge someone else's relationship because unless you're inside that relationship, and it's not just like, you know, of course, cheating makes sense. Obviously, if someone like murders somebody, you know, that's like the kind of a deal breaker. That you can also be in a relationship.
Deal. Wait, what?
I'm saying it is a big deal. It's like, you know,
you're like, what if someone murders all of their family?
I'm saying like among the reasons that it makes sense to get divorced is like, yeah, they cheated or they murdered someone in your family. I'm saying those are the obvious things. Well, it's like you didn't hold up your end of the bargain of this relationship, but you could also kind of be emotionally abused in a relationship. Someone could completely emotionally check out on you. And that is in a sense like you're not living up to the vows, which is to always be checking in. It's like the relationship with this person is the relationship with yourself, and it is the relationship that you have with God. You have to be on the level. And if you're cutting off, checking out, whether that's with your behavior or how you treat a person, then you should get divorced rather than like just live a horrible life and be miserable, you know.
So that's what I did.
So it's okay to get divorced on the SimpCast.
I'm so glad I did though, because I would not have met my based husband. So it's fine.
Yeah. I think I was so afraid of getting into a relationship that I was like very distant with a lot of boyfriends, including my current one. And it took like a couple years to actually be like, oh no, you're a partner. And like we should keep doing this. Like I went through many phases that's why it did kind of take 7 years. Cause it's like in the beginning we were absolutely not ready to be married. Then my mom died and like, oh man, like we could have very easily broken up. When my mom died, I was such a fucking hot mess. I was like drinking wine in the bathtub, leaving wine glasses out. He would go to step in the shower in the morning and like it'd be just like glass shattering. I'd just hear, Chrissie, what the fuck? And I'd be like, I'm grieving.
No. Oh no.
It was very messy. Like I locked myself out of the apartment a few times or like forgot a key and I'd be like drunk coming home from the city. I like slept in the hallway a couple times. Like it was very messy. Yeah, I wasn't great at dealing with death, but and because I'd be like 4 a.m. I'd be like and then I would just fell asleep in the hallway. Arcion, Sara, did you have a kid with your second husband? If is it hard to date with a child?
So yes, I have a baby who is 21 months old, turning 2 in September, who I had with my second husband. And yes, it is very hard to date with a child. You feel like you're like, no one is going to accept me. I'm damaged goods, right? So it's hard. But you find the right guy, you start over. It took us a long time to figure out because I just want to make it clear, Chrissy. My husband loves my other son. Like they're the best of friends. It's like he treats him like he's his own. Like it's a great relationship. But I mean, it presents a challenge, obviously, if you have a child and you're trying to date. But I don't know. I would just say if you want to have kids and you're trying to date and you're of the age where you're dating people who would have children already, you would just, I don't know, give it a second glance.
Yeah. And I think the older you get,
yeah,
the more likely it's going to be that you are going to, or if you're divorced, getting back out there, like, or if you're just like never, kind of like me, like never married and you're just getting older, dating people who are also older. It's like it's highly likely you're going to end up dating somebody with a kid. And it's hard. It's hard for men. It's hard for women. Like
it's hard.
I started dating my boyfriend and his son was 4 at the time. And I remember like, you know, he didn't have a lot of money. He would, his son would be sleeping in the same room as us. I think the kid was like 4. He had his like little kid bed, same room. There was like no adult time. You know what I mean? Like, but that was a good lesson for me to kind of realize like, hey, it's not, hey, youngest child of 3, stand-up comedian. It's not always about you. Okay. You're not always going to be the center of everybody's world. So if you basically like, if you want this really great band, like this is kind of a lesson you have to learn to like, if you're going to end up now looking back, I go, okay, I had to get through that to like learn and be the person I am today. But it's not hard. It's not easy for guys. It's not easy for girls. And if I had just like cut and run at that point, like, oh, gross, there's a kid, you know what I mean? Like, well,
yeah,
I might not be engaged right now. So it's, you just gotta, there's no perfect situation. And you might have your idea of what like your standards are or what your qualifications are or what your like must-haves have to be. But like at some point, like you might end up throwing a lot of that out the window if you just meet the right person. Because I never would, you know what I mean? Like on paper, you're never gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go for someone with a kid. Like, no, if you had asked me like 15 years ago, I'd have been like, ugh, no, red flag. But hello, so is dating a female stand-up comic. I am also a red flag. So